020. It started with a break room conversation. Jess, a chipper, overly generous coworker, offered her a deal. Come live with me. Rent's cheap. We'll help each other out. Jess had a toddler too. It sounded perfect. Desperate to get out of her mother's overcrowded apartment, Sarah moved in with her daughter 2 days later. That was her first mistake. The second, believing anything Jess said, because Jess forgot to mention a few minor details, like the pit bull named Reggie that greeted Sarah at the front door, or the fact that Jess's boyfriend, Travis, wasn't just visiting, he practically lived there, slept on the couch, ate everyone's food, showered like he paid the water bill. But he didn't. Neither did Jess, and neither did Reggie. Within days the house became chaos. 7 people, 1 house, 3 bedrooms, 2 toddlers, a teenage brother who dropped out of school, and 1 angry dog who had a personal vendetta against the neighborhood mailman. Sarah kept her head down. She paid her share. She even covered groceries when Jess forgot her debit card. Again and again. Then the window broke. It was raining that night. Sarah came home to find her bedroom soaked, rainwater pouring through the broken glass like a faucet. Her VCR, brand new, Christmas gift from her mom, was fried. Her TV crackled like a haunted spirit. She panicked. Jess, we need to fix this, Sarah begged. Jess waved her off with a smile. I'll handle it, don't worry. She didn't. The days passed. Mold started creeping across the carpet. Her toddler coughed in her sleep, and Sarah started seeing it, what she had ignored for weeks. This wasn't just neglect. This was sabotage. Sarah taped a piece of plastic over the window. Jess tore it down, claiming the landlord would totally handle it. The landlord didn't even know Sarah lived there. The final straw came with the electricity bill. Jess wanted to split it 8 ways, including her boyfriend, including her brother who played Xbox all day. Sarah's eyes twitched. No, she said. You said this was fair. This is not fair. Jess smiled. Then maybe you should leave. Sarah did, but not before taking pictures, receipts, damage estimates, and her dignity, what little was left of, because she knew, deep down, this wasn't over. He wasn't supposed to be here, so why was there blood on my hallway floor, and my kid screaming from the bedroom like the world was ending? She gave Jess a formal 30-day notice, texted, emailed, written on a post-it stuck to the fridge. She even circled the date, but on day 16, something snapped. It started with another passive-aggressive note on the fridge. This one wasn't from Sarah. Pay your part or don't bother using the shower. Signed, Travis, the boyfriend. The same guy who wasn't supposed to live there. The same one Sarah caught using her daughter's apple juice to mix protein powder. She lost it. That evening, Sarah stormed into the living room, demanded accountability, and got laughter in return. Jess stood there, arms crossed, smug like she was auditioning for a reality TV show. He didn't say a word. He just stood looming, watching. What came next was blurry. A shout, a shove, a crash. Sarah's knee slammed into the hallway wall. Her daughter cried from the bedroom, her tiny fists pounding the door. Jess yelled that Sarah was crazy, that she needed help. And then there was blood, not gushing, but enough to stain the white hallway carpet. Not Sarah's, not Jess's. Travis. Apparently during the commotion, he tried to grab Sarah's phone. She yanked it back, and his hand hit the wall. Sarah didn't even realize what happened until Jess screamed, "You assaulted him." Police weren't called, but something worse was. A lawyer. The next day, Jess filed a restraining order, claimed emotional distress, sent photos of a bruised wrist. Hers, not even Travis. Claimed Sarah's dog bit her. Sarah didn't have a dog, but Sarah had evidence too. She had texts, pictures of the broken window, receipts from a damaged VCR, a letter from her daughter's pediatrician, saying chronic cold symptoms, possible mold exposure. She took it all to small claims court, and filed for damages, electronics, ruined carpet, unfulfilled landlord duties, total $5,000. Jess countersued. Same amount, medical bills, mental trauma, and unpaid rent. Neither backed down, but both knew, this case wasn't about money. It was about power, about truth, about who could spin the better version of what happened in that cracked little rental house on Birch Lane. As court day loomed, Sarah sat in her new apartment, holding her daughter close. Jess was doing TikToks about fake friends, and somewhere in these, the truth was festering. waiting to explode. She called me a liar in front of the judge, but when the photos played on the screen, her face turned pale, and suddenly nobody in that courtroom was laughing. Just beige walls, squeaky chairs, and a judge who looked like he'd rather be anywhere else. But to Sarah and Jess, this was the final battlefield. The judge flipped through the files. So both of you are suing for $5,000. Let's try to keep this from turning into a soap opera. Too late. Jess went first. She cried, claimed Sarah hit her, claimed she was a landlord, despite never having her name on the lease, brought up unpaid rent, emotional trauma, a bruised rib she never got x-rayed. She even passed around photos of a cracked window and a dirty hallway, blaming Sarah's violent exit. Then it was Sarah's turn. No tears, just receipts. Here's the estimate for my VCR, she said, placing the document on the table. This one's for the carpet replacement. And this, she clicked a remote. A photo flashed on the courtroom monitor. A broken window, mold trailing up the wall, a toddler's mattress pushed into the corner drenched. Gasps echoed in the courtroom. Jess's jaw clenched. The judge leaned forward. And you say you told her to take the plastic down from the window? Jess stammered. Well, yeah, I said the landlord would fix it. But you're not the landlord, the judge cut in. Jess blinked. And who is the judge asked, pointing to a second photo. This one of Travis, shirtless, holding a beer in Sarah's room. My boyfriend, Jess muttered. Was he supposed to be living there? No, but he was. Yes. Sarah didn't smile. She didn't have to. The judge looked at both of them and sighed again. Here's the deal, he said. You both made poor choices. Neither of you had legal standing to rent, sublease, or pretend to be a landlord, but one of you brought actual evidence. He turned to Jess. You lied about the lease. You lied about the damage. You lied about the dog. Then to Sarah. You were naive, but you didn't lie. Judgment awarded. $1,200 for Sarah, enough to cover the damaged items and part of the rent she overpaid. The rest, dismissed. Jess stormed out. Sarah just sat for a moment, still breathing. It wasn't about the money. Not really. It was about finally being heard. Back home, Sarah tucked her daughter into bed. A real bed, in a real home. No roommates. No barking. No threats. Just peace. And sometimes peace is the best revenge of all.